Hey guys, how are you? For those that celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas Eve. For those that don't, Happy Holidays. Just regardless of what you celebrate, hopefully you're getting some time off because Christmas tends to be one of the quietest work weeks of the year. Um, for some of us, I mean, for some people, it could be the busiest. And so, just wanted to pop in and do a power talk. So I entitled this that your gifts will make room, but you have to unwrap them because there are so many of you out here. I bet there's somebody watching right now that has an amazing gift that they want to share with the world. It could be the gift of painting, singing. You could be a consultant, a strategist, a life coach. You could be a dancer. Typically, you usually have a glimpse of it because it's the things that your people in your personal life come to you for the most and that you're doing for free anyway. And what I want to task any and everybody that watches this with is that in 2021, if you have not unwrapped your gift or unwrapped it fully, for you to find the courage to take the wrapping paper off. Tomorrow's Christmas. People are going to be unwrapping gifts in homes across the world. And what I want you to do is I want you to unwrap the gift on the inside of you. I'm going to tell a story that I haven't told in a long time. If you heard it before, act like it's new. So the first time I really unwrapped my gift was the very first time I got to go to the Oprah Winfrey show, and it just was a guy that I got seated in the front row, and I was seated so close to her. It was her old studio before she renovated that I was able to have a conversation with her because she's very friendly, like most servant leaders and gracious leaders. And so between tapings, I mean, she would chop it up with you like you was her best good girlfriend. And I had just gotten her 15th anniversary DVD set. So this tells you how long ago this was. I don't even know if I got DVD player in my house anymore. I'm sure I do somewhere with some dust on it. And I got it for Christmas from a girlfriend who knew how much I loved her. And this was my first time ever being at the show. And when I first got it, it was 16 hours. So, this before social media popped, this before YouTube. We're not just sitting around digesting content like that. We don't got DVRs yet, none of that. So, but once I started watching it, I couldn't stop because it was the first time that I only did she share like all of her favorite episodes of the show, but she shared commentary on how she felt about it. And so I was I started watching it over the holidays and I couldn't stop. Like I was literally going downstairs, warming up my leftovers, coming back to my bed to finish watching. Another thing is that being the age that I am, when she first started the show, it's kind of like when you rewatch the Cosby Show now as a parent versus when you watched it as a kid. When I started watching it, I realized that so many of the episodes impacted me differently because when they initially aired, I was a child or a teenager, and now I was an adult and a wife and a mother. And so the stories that were being told and the journeys that were being shared impacted me differently. So fast forward back to me sitting there, and I said to Oprah, I said, hey, I said, I got your 15th anniversary DVD set for Christmas. And I said, at first when I got it, I was like, girl, I love Oprah, but 16 hours, that's a lot. Now, y'all got to know Sean. Yes, even, for all of you out here that think that I'm just so blunt and direct, that's how I talk to Oprah Winfrey. And, and I said, however, once I really got into it, I could not stop watching until I was done. I was full in, and I said it impacted me. And I said, I'm sure I'm not the only person. And I said, I think you could build a whole show around it, a whole flashback show around it of your most pivotal moments, especially since it's the first time you're sharing commentary on what you were thinking about these specific guests. And not only would it be a great, highly rated episode, but it would help DVD sales go through the roof. Now, I don't even know I have the gift that I move in every day now back then of being a business strategist, consultant, etc. I'm still working in corporate America as a sales executive. So definitely, I knew how to talk to people but I'm in my 20s. Like, I don't know that this is my destiny unfolding. This is me unwrapping this is me. And to make it so bad, my girlfriend who was sitting next to me was nudging me the whole time to shut up. Like, I was embarrassing her. So that's the other thing too about when it's time to unwrap your gift and walk in your full self. Even though the biggest naysayers may be the closest people to you, and you have to push past that, because you can't let their fear bleed in. Supposed to happen. So didn't let it stop me. She was nudging me the whole time. Oprah looks at her producer, says, "That's a great idea. We're going to do it. Y'all get her information. Y'all figure out how to work it out with her and make it happen." So her producers, of course, run over, get my information for the next 6 months. I'm working with them. Next thing I know, now I have the story of Oprah being my very first paid consulting client. Very first idea I got compensated for. I got compensated for it from one of the richest, most famous, highly noted women, not just Black women, people, not just people in the world. And from that day forward, I decided that I was going to walk around with my gift unwrapped. And whenever there was an opportunity to share my gift, that I was going to share it. Because, like Les Brown always says, the richest place in the world is in the cemetery, because there's so many buried gifts and dreams and ideas of people who didn't have the courage to unwrap them and to live them out loud while they were here living in the earth. And when I tell you, when I leave this place, I want to leave empty. When people say they don't want to be used, well, if you can't be used, you're useless. So I want to be useful in every single facet of the word. Go on to, they taped the Oprah show. We get a picture together because of it. Of course, they have to mail me the picture. She's got one photographer allowed in that studio. So just to show you how God works, the same photographer that took the picture of her and Mandela, the late great Nelson Mandela, her and President Obama, her and Michelle Obama, her and Kenny Rogers, her and Maya Angelou, her and, I mean, I could go on and on and on. Anytime you've seen a super famous, fabulous picture of her inside her studio, that photographer took that picture of she and I. And so even in that, how special is that? And when we took the picture's on my Facebook page. It's in my featured pictures. She wrapped her arms around me. First of all, she looked at me. And I'll never forget the look that she looked. So let me tell you, I did a couple of strategic things that day. First of all, her favorite color is green. Always do your homework. So I wore green that day. I wore a green cashmere sweater and I had this emerald necklace. And so I already knew just in that was going to grab it, because I knew that was her favorite color. So then I did that. This is the strategist talking. Then as she was walking out from filming the show, because I had special seats, I said, "Hey, do you remember me? I have been 6 months. This woman, me, how many people?" She said, "Of course I do. You're the reason we did the show. You gave us the idea." And I said, "Can we take a picture?" And she said, "Absolutely, but you have to meet me in the back because I got to catch a flight back to LA." So again, gift, unwrap, bravery, courage, walking in it, asking for the sale. If I never asked for that picture would not exist. It would have just been like one of those hey stories that I tell y'all with no proof. And y'all know in this day of social media that I didn't even know was coming. If you can't prove it, it didn't happen. And so, and not to even mention how the Oprah effect on my business, me having that picture with her, how people look at me when they Google me, and that's one of the first things that pop up. So go back, fast forward. I get copies of the picture made. I put a copy on my desk at work. I'm still working at the phone company. You know, that's what we called AT&T back then. I think it might have been SBC back then. So anyway, y'all know I'm old. I'm aging myself. I'll pull it in my garage. It might get dark. So anyway, we take the picture. Long story short, the global account manager that handled her account quit, and they needed someone to take over her account because at the time she was building her school in South Africa, her house in Santa Barbara, expanding Oprah.com, changing the website completely, and also expanding the studio. And so she was upgrading all her tech. And so then a VP in Chicago said, well, we have someone on the team. They live in Wisconsin, but we have someone on the team that has a picture with her on their desk. So they calibrate like leaders do. Don't ever think your leaders in your workplace aren't calibrating, thinking about you, watching you, etc. And they said, well, do you think she'd be willing to commute? Because she's going to have to be here at least 3 days a week. And she's going to have a desk at Harpo. And this is going to be at least a 2-year project. Do you think that's something she can commit to? And so next thing I know, I don't know that. I mean, I know now, but I didn't know that was happening. So that conversation happens in the background. They call me. They offer it. I accept. I commute. I have a desk at Harpo Studios for 2 years, help with those major projects. And on top of that, get to be around her greatness, her leadership, her team's greatness and leadership and creativity every single day that I know impacts the way I lead, impacts the way I deliver service, impacts the way that I interact with individuals, and impacts the way that I'm okay with walking as my authentic self because I never saw her be anything but her. Impacted the way they called her the big boss at the studio. They'd be like, big boss coming, the big boss coming. And I'm sure she didn't give herself that name. That's what they called her. And like, she didn't walk around like, I didn't tell y'all to call me the big boss, but that was their term of endearment for her. I was there when she gifted them all the trip to Hawaii, including the janitor. So it showed me that you treat the janitors the same way that you treat your executives and all their families. And so it was just a very life-changing moment for me. And what it did is it confirmed for me, because all my family and friends, every time they had an idea, or every time they needed something written, or every time they needed to think of something creatively, they were calling me anyway. But then to have someone like that say, who gets pitched all day, that idea is good. You're right. I could make some money off that. And then to compensate me for that, that was a game changer for me. And from that day on, I was working myself out of my corporate job into what is now the Power Network. From that day on, her belief in me strengthened my belief in me. And it gave me the courage to not just rip a little piece off a paper off my gift, but to unwrap that gift fully and to make sure that the world is impacted by it and the world can see it. And so I just want to encourage you guys to do this and to walk in that courage for yourself. Look, shameless plug, got to end it this way. If you need help, if you need a thought partner, if you need a strategist, if you need a coach, because you know you got it, but you're not quite sure what to do with it, it is December 24th until 12/31. My normal $300 an hour sessions are on sale for $99 an hour. All you have to do is cash out POWHER, money sign POWHER, POWHER. And I am booked through the week of January 4th. So if you pay today, that's when you'll get booked. I'm booking every day. So I know I'm in my garage, girl, I'm sorry. Let me cut the light on at least. Look, now I look like I'm in a Blair Witch Project. So if you book, because I can't even say that I'm going to have any spots left. I keep opening more spots because y'all know I want to help people. But January 4th, all my regular clients are going to pick back up. So it's not that I'm trying to push people to pay, but I'm saying like you're not booked until you paid. And so if you don't pay now and then you think you can pay in January, first of all, it's going to be back $300 an hour. Second of all, I may not have room. And so I appreciate everybody that's booked. I mean, I am booked. And I appreciate it. Some people have been buying 2 hours at a time, 3 hours at a time. They like, look, I'm saving all this money. I'm going to do it. And so as you're thinking about if you haven't done anything for yourself, or if you're trying to think of a gift you could do for somebody that wants to do something great in 2021, gift them a master planning session. Gift them a power hour. I think it's the gift that gives on giving, keeps on giving. I mean, it may Oprah some money, so I'm just saying. But anyway, I'm sure that I'll be on the radio tomorrow morning. My husband and I from 8 to 10. You can listen from anywhere in the country at wglbradio.com. It is a gospel station, or if you're local, you can listen at 1560 AM or 96.1 FM. We'll probably also go live because we're only on for 2 hours. But I'm super excited. For those of you who don't know my husband, he's a minister. He's dope. We used to move in ministry together a lot. The Power Network is my ministry. It's my business, but it's my ministry because it's what I was purposed to do. And so I'm excited to do the show with him tomorrow, and we'll probably go live doing that and talk to you guys between songs, because we love Jesus' birthday. And we are so thankful that he was born and that he died so I might live. So anyway, I'm going to talk to you later. I'm sorry it's so dark at the end of this. I wasn't going to pull on the street just to finish this. So hopefully you finished it to the end. And again, if you want to book that power hour, let's do it. Cash App Power, POWHER. And honestly, like, just to keep it all the way 100, I don't have to do $99 power hours. And I say that in the highest humility. But I do this every single year because I realize that everybody can't afford $300 an hour worth of time with me. Um, and I really want people to kick off their year strong. And I want them to have the tools necessary to get what it is done, to unwrap their gift and give that gift out every single day to those who are deserving of it, to those who need it, and to those who will be most impacted by it. Okay, you guys, peace, love, power. I'm out.